Now, dear.
Yes, we're standing by. Absolutely fantastic, Barry, and we're very, very grateful. I never would have expected to have such a rich...
But I cannot hear you. Can you speak a bit louder?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's better.
Okay. I say we can only thank you from the depths of all our collective hearts for your confessions and for your explanations and for the way you've responded to every individual here and organized our material and our thoughts for us. This is just, you know, a real gift.
I'm only sorry that I'm not there.
I beg your pardon?
I'm only sorry that I'm not there with you.
Well, we're very sorry you're not here with us, and we would have a lovely banquet in addition to the conversation if you were here. So we know that. I am a little bit at a loss as to exactly what to do now because you have, like a chess master, outmastered us, and we no longer need to ask our questions that we had before talking to you of you now individually. So I'm going to give just a minute of pause here to see who would like to add something to you and ask you if you want to add something to us that's coming up now in your mind as you're reviewing what you've been telling us. It was a beautiful, beautiful exposition.
Well, thank you very much. I have dictated this to myself 3 hours ago.
Well, you've written a new play or a new confession. The prologue is continuing. At a soon point in this hour, we're going to go over to Skype so we can actually see one another, but I wanted to make sure we use this more trusted phone for a while so that we didn't have any interruption in what we're talking about.
All right, I am at your disposal.
Would you care to review, while everyone here is thinking, any thoughts you had about rewriting the play? Did you write it in '66, put it on in '77, let it sit all the way till 2005, or have you kept fiddling with it? Are you still fiddling with it now if you're putting out a new edition or going somewhere else to present it?
No, I've actually, my fiddling had to do only with specific presentation of the play, and my reworking on it was mainly when I worked, not translated, but rewrote the play in English, but without betraying its main, I don't like the word cause, but its main purpose.
You know, as I told you, I had a student who's still working on a paper, a Greek student who's still working on a paper comparing the earlier Greek version and the version now, and he'll be very pleased to hear some of what you have told us today, because he too was noticing how you had internationalized the play so that an audience of people who aren't Greek could come and join you, you know, intellectually and with their hearts.
And especially in English, although the Scots wouldn't have liked the word that, to listen that I did it in English, but I couldn't make it in write it like a Scot, although there is Robert Burns' little poem when I use the Scottish pronunciation, my lul.
You've really left us stunned. Your comprehensive, your ability to leap so, you know, with such agility between all cultures and all forms of cultures, really leaving us a bit stunned here. So we're recovering for a moment. We can do maybe just as well as you, not to put it otherwise, in views of other fields and technology in particular, perhaps, but you've come along fantastically in that area too in our conversation, at least in our tests so far and today.
But what is surprised me is that most of your students, whether they prefer to read the play first or to see the video, positive about the play, notwithstanding its Greekness. And of course, whether it's better to read first the play or to see it acted, it's a matter of preference, and that reminds one that if one goes to see, for instance, Jerusalem, whether he must read about Jerusalem first or read after he has seen Jerusalem. But talking about a play, what is definite, a play, even by his author, is not to be read but to be acted. And that's why rarely plays have a large or not audience, a lot of people who read them, but except for plays by Bernard Shaw, who his prologue are sometimes more interesting than the play itself. But that's another point.
I'm now asking who would like to come and address this black box that you're speaking so elegantly out of, because we're really amazed that you're delivering an address to people you can't see, and you're doing it so easily and eloquently. And now we're a bit tongue-tied and shy, but we're going to try to break that barrier. And
yes, well, may I ask some questions personally to some of these people?
You can do that. Please do.
Dr. Marina, I must have the questioner. Well, let's ask first, let's call Andrea Alonso, who has written the longer question.
She's right
Is Alonso
here.
there?
She's right here.
Mm-hmm.
You can go ahead, Patty, if you want to talk to her.
Hello, Andrea.
Hi, Mr. Tacopoulos. How are you?
Oh, Andrea is a feminine name.
Yes,
That's
yes.
a very nice surprise.
Yes.
So, you, in your two paragraphs, long paragraphs, as long as some of mine, which I read before, there is a small misunderstanding. For instance, which I hope that I cleared up with my soliloquy. You say that throughout the play, the speaker brings up the idea that has lived through so many lives. He states, what is life?
Yes.
What is death? Only a Monikin knows, because Monikin has lived so many lives and so many deaths. And then he also states 4,000 years of Monikin life. Only a Monikin could live so many years and encounter so many. Now we'll come to 3 dots that are mentioned by one of your colleagues. These are thoughts of a desperate person, but also who lives in a moment of a very difficult moment of his life, which may be the end of his life or maybe not. And he thinks big, like, and the Greeks liked things in such a way, but he's also drunk. And he tries to reconsider his life as the life of every Greek who feels that he is a Greek. And because as people, they say that before they die, recollect all their memories from their childhood, but this is the actor's invasion in this play that he goes as far as the golden period of Pericles. And that is some sort of consolation. But that doesn't, he avoids the issue that is alone and whether he has to finish his life. And then he gives this Periclean oration, calling everybody to come to Greece, because Greece has the obligation to bury all Greeks in order to give an example to the whole world. And of course, this is a poetic exaggeration, and it's very romantic, but all this comes from a person who is drunken, not a drunkard. So, is there any question about this now?
No, I think you've clarified it.
If I may I interject? You've spoken about the 4,000 years, and I think maybe a little clarification, if there was something specific in your mind in connection with exactly that number of years, might be helpful.
It goes back, there's a saying in Greece, Greece of the 4,000 years. And in this respect, he wants to go further back and further back. It's not even to before the time of Minoan times.
That's what I thought, but I just wanted to hear it from you and have us all hear it in case there was a question.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tacopoulos.